Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey, and today I'm so excited because we get to test and keep building with the test build of the Bloomin Spring Update, and we are gonna be building a lily pad garden. I've been wanting to do something like this a while in Dinkum, and now with the water beds, it's just something that's gonna make us possible to make this happen. So we are gonna be showcasing a lot of the new items that we are gonna get in the Bloomin Spring Update. So most of this build is gonna be using all those items. There's just a few little ones that are from the previous build, from the previous update, of course, but without the Bloomin Spring Update, none of this build, this feel, the way we can make it happen would not be possible, especially the lily pads. And this is why I wanted to showcase it. I wanted to build something special that is all about the new items of the Bloomin Spring Update. So the first thing, like always, I did my research, I looked for inspiration, and I find something that I really wanted to do, and I wanted to be inspired and bring it to you guys so you guys can get inspired. And it's gonna be the lily pad, and it was such a cool idea that I wanted to bring into the game because it was perfect for Dinkum. It just was gonna work out great. And one of the other items that I wanted to showcase was gonna be the marble, because I wanted to bring that elegance into this build. So here we are, right? So we're back in my old town because I could not make this fit and work aesthetically in the coastal town. So we're back in the old town where everything started, right in front of the clock tower plaza, or right next to it actually, and that's where we're gonna be. It's just gonna be adjacent, it's gonna be another park, it's gonna be another garden, and it's gonna have that feel that it's gonna be kind of secluded with the lily pads and the water and fountains and all of that. So you seeing the measurement. So right now it looks like we're building a pool. But once we start adding the lily pads, when we start adding the fountains, when we start adding the flowers and the trees and all of that, it starts feeling like we are in this garden, in this patio, in this section. We're gonna be using I think we're gonna be showcasing all the marble stuff. We're gonna be doing the path, we're gonna be doing the columns, just enough so this build feels very different, something that we could not have accomplished before. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is I made the layout that I wanted. I'm matching it to my front of the clock tower, so your entrance don't have to be this wide, but I ended up enjoying having the 3 wide entrance, and you're gonna see that more at the end of the video because I kind of made him to be kind of like one square, but then I ended up changing that and making him wider, and I felt like it made the build more open and more accessible, and it just looked great. So then one of the other items that I wanted to showcase in this particular build is this new fountain. Amazing. We finally have a new fountain that we can use in Dinkum, and I can't wait to do something with the other one. But right now on this build, we're gonna be using this one, the small one, and it's perfect and it's elegant and it has that little high tier and it's small and it fits on one square. And that's such a benefit for us right now, having the one square, because sometimes, we can't align things all the time. So having the benefit of having this fountain that just falls in one square is gonna help us so much in many type of builds that we're gonna be building in the future. Okay, so now I'm taking some inspiration. If you guys didn't see my joint stream when I joined KD Gentlemen's in their stream, we were building my clock tower plaza, right? My city plaza style in their island, in their town, and they planted the new spring trees. And I kind of gonna steal that idea from them because it was so great. And at the same time, I want to keep showcasing all the new stuff that we're getting in the Bloomin Spring Update. So that comes from being part of their stream and having that inspiration coming from them. Now I'm applying it to our build, to this build right here, and the end result, because right now we're in winter, and this build took a couple days. I went back and forth. I needed materials, and I slept through different days, But then at the end of the build, we do slip all the way to spring so we can see it, so we can see how everything looks so beautifully. Okay, so now we're gonna use the hibiscus. I'm so excited for this item, and the way we can place them and pick them up and use them in different, and just bring another type of color into the island, into our towns, the yellow and the red. You know, I would love to see this also in pink. I would love to see the hype in blue. Just a little more colors and variations, so we can just keep using this new item and in different builds for different type of theme and aesthetics and all that. But hey, I'm happy that we got him in yellow and red right now because it's such a great item. Another items we're gonna be using in this build is also gonna be all the new flowers, just so we can the whites and the blue and the pinks, and it's so nice to have the ability to kind of color coordinate better now in our builds. So aesthetically we can build something that we want to build, something that is going to look extra in our own way, and it's just amazing. And so thankful, truly thankful for all these new items. Okay, so what you're seeing is I placed the hibiscus, and a lot of this we're gonna see that I'm gonna move some things around because I didn't like the feel of it. But like always, we gotta kind of put things down, place them down, see how aesthetically everything is feeling and all that. Love the marble benches, they're so nice. It's just it brings this elegance into this build that we need with the marble, you know. And one thing that I'm playing around with the marble and looking at it is not overdoing it, especially on this build right here. I was trying to keep it very minimal when it came to the marble. So as you see, when I did the fence, I still used the hedges, you know. In my initial test run, my initial off-camera practice on this build to see how it's gonna look, what can I make happen on this build. Putting it all marble, it wasn't for me. It just didn't look right. There was something missing to it, and I think it was just too much of it. So by placing the hedges in between the specific section of the marble fence, that's when it started feeling a lot better for me. And so when I started initially now recording the build, I already knew what I needed to do. But it, like always, don't forget, if you like something more, you want to put more marble, go ahead and put it, because it's always going to be aesthetic, and it's always going to be what you like and what's your preference when you come to building, you know. Because what looks good to you is not something that's going to look good to me, and what looks good to me is not something that's going to look good to you. So that's always going to be a priority. Don't forget it as you're following, as you're watching. Decorate it and place the items the way you want to place them. Okay, the lily pad, this was game changing to me. You know, we seen them in the little lakes, and we always wanted, like, it'd be cool if we can harvest them and grab them and use them in our own way to place them. And then the update came, and that was something that we could do. And what game changer that was. I mean, to create this, see, and then once we place those lily pads, everything changed from the beginning that looked like we're building a pool to now we have this type of garden right here. Very elegant. We're bringing the elegant into this build slowly, and everything is changing. And the lily pads, just the lily pads by themselves, made the biggest change just on this build by placing them. And then I did my research on the lily pads, right? I put up a lot of pictures, a lot of ponds that have lily pads, especially in gardens, in hotels, in parks. And the lily pads are always kind of spread out, right? Sometimes you got a big cluster, sometimes you got one over here, one over there, and you got big gaps of water. So that was something that I was trying to imitate, to kind of bring that realism, not to overdo it, but not to have too little, because that's part of the showcase, right? It's the lily pad. A lot of the lily pads also have like these pink flowers blooming, and of course we don't have a flower that's blooming from the lily pad, but we did get a pink flower, and we can plant them in the water beds. So we're gonna make that effect, and then we're gonna plant some of those pink flowers just to create a little more beautiful atmosphere and more elegance, and to bring a little more into the build, you know, a little more color into the pond and all of that. So yeah, it's just so exciting. And this update, all the items, you know, as we get to play around with them and the possibilities of what we can keep building with this update, is just amazing. I got so many ideas, and I can't build them all fast enough. I can't find enough time to place them all. Real life, you got full-time job, you got family to take care of, and family, to me, family is always going to be something that comes first. It's something very important, but at the same time, I want to create and bring this content for you guys, because I want you guys to keep playing this amazing game, to keep getting inspired, so you guys can keep making so beautiful towns that I'm seeing in pictures and in videos. And it's just the whole package, the whole everything that we're getting. And the community, the Dinkum community, just keeps growing, and we all getting closer, we're all getting to know each other, we're all supporting each other, we're there for each other. It's just amazing. And it's amazing that one game can bring a community together like this, and it's just amazing to be part of it, and so grateful for you guys. But okay, so let's keep looking at this build. So the next thing, we took all that cement out. It was ruining the vision of what I wanted. At first, I imagined like people want to walk around it, and so I put that cement path around it, but the cement path did not belong there. It just needed to go away. So the next idea that I had, by researching and looking at a lot of pictures, a lot of people just have a lot of grass around it, right? So I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and put grass all over this field and see how that looks. And we placed the grass, and I was starting to feel much better. I feel like now it's bringing that garden atmosphere. But just wait into a little more down the end, because then again, I take a little bit inspiration from the collab stream that I had with KD Gentleman, and I brought that element into this build, and that was game changing for me. Specifically, it just added that extra little detail that brought this build to life to me. But yes, and that's the great thing about being able to watch other creators, to talk to other people, to get inspired by other people, because it brings something more to our builds that we could not have done it by ourselves, and it's just amazing. And I love that feeling. Okay, so now we're showcasing again some of the new bushes, some of the new smaller trees, and what I'm creating here, I want to create this effect. I want this area to feel close, right? Like, I don't want to make a high fence, I don't want to make a wall. I just want trees, but I don't want the tall trees. I don't want the old trees. I don't want the new trees. I want these smaller ones that we're creating. So we put them in these different patterns, and then we're gonna offset them again. And so basically we're gonna go too deep on them, and we're gonna offset them as you see. And we're gonna put a big one and a small, big one and a small, and then on the front row where's the big one, we're gonna put a small, and when the small, we're gonna put a big one. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna create this wall with a tree that is gonna make this area feel more enclosed. So when you imagine yourself being there, you feel like you got some privacy, but at the same time, it's gonna feel open. It's gonna feel like you can still see through it, but you still have that privacy feeling in the build. And at least that's my goal. That's what I was trying to replicate. That's what I was trying to do. Because right now, when you look at it, it looks great, and I got the big trees, but it still feels too open for me. It just feels too open. Now, if you're putting this in a specific place in your island, in your build, maybe behind a house, maybe behind a building or something like that, and you want that open, of course, leave it open. Since I'm placing this kind of in my city town, right? So I feel like, the people that are coming here to relax, they're gonna have a lunch, they're gonna just look at the garden, they just wanna sit down, take in the sun, maybe read a book or something like that. In my vision, I feel like they would like to have some privacy in this area, and that's why I'm making this. But of course, I didn't want to make just a wall. I just didn't feel right, and so we're gonna make the best that we can right now with the new items, just this little wall of these new trees, so we can create some privacy. So that's the goal. So the same thing we're gonna do in the back. So I'm cleaning up the back side so I can put that row of trees, and then we're gonna go again, clean another row, and all that's gonna come down so we can have this nice green secluded place. And as we can building and keep moving things around, you saw that I cut down some trees inside because they're gonna be on the outside. So then I brought the one that is on the already planted in the pot, and that brought a little more texture inside the build, because instead of them just being planted in the ground, now we have it just in this flower pot, and it looks so good. And that, oh man, James, you have really outdone yourself on the details on all these new items, the textures, the quality, the design aspect of the flower pot. It's just not just a plain flower pot. You really went out on detail. I don't know what kind of research you did. I'd be excited to one day to hear that from you, because I love these details and all the new items that you add into the game. They're just amazing. The texture, the quality is, as a designer and really enjoying this game for what you're bringing to us, is the quality level, the fountain quality, just the marble path, the shading, the colors, just everything has been so good, and it has made the game even more exciting, more fun to design. I just want to keep creating a new world inside this game, and I just want to say thank you once again, because the Bloomin Spring update is mind-blowing, and if this is just a taste of what we can get in Dinkum, and we still got more updates down the road, and then 1.0, and then what's gonna be coming in the future of the game, it's an amazing feeling to have a game like this, that the community is gonna keep growing around it, and it's just amazing. So again, okay, let's just backtrack. Let's get back to what we're building. Okay, so everything is looking good. You're gonna notice that I'm gonna be sleeping a lot, because I need to see how the trees are growing, to see if the effect that I want to create is gonna work. So we're gonna sleep, we're gonna just spam it so we can see this grow at the same time. And at the same time, the goal is, because I'm in winter, I want to get to spring, so I don't mind all this extra sleeping for this build, because we want to see this in spring. We want to get that feeling, especially when these trees, they turn to the color that they turn, and it's just so wowing. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I remember when I got there, I was blown away, because the build just looks so good. Okay, so when we're looking at it right here, everything is coming together, right? Everything is shaping. We're feeling the garden atmosphere, and that's the goal. This is a garden, and that's what I'm trying to create here. And at the same time, I feel like this build is such a good build for you guys, for anybody that wants to follow along, and it's so easy to tweak. You can add your own spin, you can add a different pathing, you can do whatever you want to this build, because the idea is there. You can add more statues, you can make it wider, you can make it smaller, you can just do whatever you want when you're following this. The inspiration that I'm hoping that you are gonna get from this build to bring to your island, so you guys can just add something more unique, something more different in a specific place. This could be in the square, this could be behind a building, behind a home, this could be the centerpiece of a big park that you want to build. The possibilities are truly endless, and the way you can tweak it, you can make a nice path, walkway all around this. And I have other ideas for this type of build. I think in the future we're gonna see some side builds, spin-off of this build, and to see what more can we keep creating when it comes to of this type of gardens that are very elegant, very beautiful. It's just a different atmosphere that we are creating, right? Okay, so now we brought the columns, and the columns are great. So you can go either way. I chose not to put the hibiscus on top. I felt like I already have enough color in the bottom, and I truly just like just the pillars, just to be there, the columns just standing just there. I think they're beautiful enough that it brings their own element into the build, and that's why I just left it like that. If you feel like they're too plain, too empty, you want to bring more color, you want to put hibiscus, and maybe you didn't put hibiscus in the floor and you want to put them in the columns instead, and you want to use another type of plant, or maybe put a little more lighting in the floor, then you can kind of rechange this, and that's when you add your own flair, you add your own spin. And then this build that you're watching, that you were following, now your inspiration will kick in and you start changing it and you start making it your own, and then you make it look better than mine. And that's always the goal. The goal is always to inspire you, for you guys to make even better builds than what I can, by just following along and getting inspired. And the next thing I know, I want to duplicate what you guys did because it just looks so good. Okay, so this was another try that I wanted to do. I wanted to see what it would look like if I have the cobblestone, kind of like stone stepping, but it brought too much dirt and it took away the green that I was enjoying so much. So the next thing, I just took it off. I needed the green. The green is what's making, to me, this build feel like that elegance, that garden, that feel that comes with the build. When I think about places like this, when you go to one of those botanical gardens, or you go to a fancy hotel, or just a theme park where they got like all this type of decorating, it's a lot of greenery, right? And you walking on the grass, and sometimes they do got path and all that, but since maybe if I was wider and I have more green between the path, then maybe those the cobblestone in circle would look good. So, and that's when we gotta keep building, not every size is perfect for every build. To add all the elements that we want to add, sometimes we have to make it bigger so we can test it out. But right now, the way I had this layout, it was perfect for the town that I'm building. The old town that I have, it fits perfectly and gives the atmosphere that I'm looking for. So I took it all off, we added all the green, and that green looks really good, and it keeps bringing this atmosphere that I really want. Okay, so now we're adding the pink, and again, very spread out, very strategic in different places. I don't want this just to be full of flowers. I want it to be enough flower, I wanted to see enough water, but I want the pink to also be there, not that it's too light, but it's not too much. And then as you see, I added a few more lilies. I moved some of the pink in different places, just whatever feels right into your eyes, right? If you're looking at this and you're like, oh, I wish he would have put another pink one over here, or maybe another lily pad over here, then go ahead and do it. When you're doing this, play with it and make it feel the way it's gonna make you happy. And when you're looking at it, it's very visually pleasing to you. And that's the best advice I can always give you, is when you're building and you're decorating, for you, remember, it's your world, it's your town, it's your island. Make it visually pleasing to you, so when you're looking at it, it makes you truly happy, and you're like, you just enjoy it. Don't worry about other people, don't worry about what other builders are doing, what I'm doing, what other people you're watching to get inspiration from. At the very end, it has to be pleasing to you, because you're a unique person that has taste, and that taste is going to reflect in your build, because that's you. Okay, so this is the most exciting part, because it's the mossy brick path, the new path that we can find in the mines. And I've been collecting it, but I haven't used it just yet. And then I remember when I was in KD, we were building, we were collabing all together, and they brought it, and I was so happy because it really elevated the new build, the build that I was bringing over. We were kind of updating it, and that inspiration stayed with me. And then I remember, and it looks so good with the marble, and it still brings that green that I want, right? I wanted that green to stay. I want that green to be in the ground. I didn't want no more brown. I didn't want cement. I didn't want brick. I didn't want more marble either, because it was, when I did my initial test runs, too much marble was too much marble, and it was then way too white. I want this greenery, and this looks so good. And that mossy feeling, because we got this big pond, so it looks like it's maybe humid, maybe the water has splashed, and it's just then the mossy getting into the bricks. I do feel like it brought something more. I think it really made the build, in my opinion, and it just made me so happy. And that's what I always try to relate. That's when your build is happy for you, and getting to this point and adding this and remembering the inspiration that I got from other creators, it was just such a fun thing and just exciting to get to this point in this build. And it's slowly coming together. We got the greenery, the wall is being built up. You're getting that little privacy sense, but at the same time you can see through it. And to me, that was one of the most important. I didn't want just to be closed up completely. I wanted to have that privacy feeling, but at the same time that you can kind of see through it. It's very visually pleasing when you pan in the camera and you see the trees, but you can kind of see through it instead of just being blocked. I feel like it created that depth, that realness in between. But if you go in complete privacy, don't forget you can do that. If you want it completely open, leave it open. All of this, all these little extra details will always be subjected to the style that you want to build and the area that you put in this build, So I do feel like this is part of like the big city structure. I imagine cars, I imagine people, maybe a little loud. So, we just want to create. And every time you walk around it, you feel, except for the main entrance, where it's very open that you can see right through it. When you walk all the way around it, I feel like that privacy. So it's really great. So then the next thing that soon we're going to do is we're going to add some of a pine tree in the back corner, and we're going to add the blackwood as well. That way when they grow and we hit spring, we're going to have this mix of green and purple in between them, especially on the back and a little bit of the front. That way it's not just all one color. And in this one also, again, it will be subjective. If you want just to do all the new spring trees, and that way when they all bloom is all purple, go for it. There's not a wrong choice when it comes to the tree placement and all the little trees that I place. If you just want to use some of the other one, if you're in a forest biome and you want to make them all forest or all pine trees, go for it. If you want to make them all gumwood and you want to bring this little white in the trunks to be more visually pleasing in the style of build that you're doing, then go ahead. And that's always the fun part, right? When we come to the item placement, when we come to the decorating, all those little details is what makes your build yours. And it's just it's always exciting to me to see what people pick and choose in their builds. But we're getting closer. We are now adding the final touches, the final details. We're adding the blackwood in these corners. Then we're gonna sleep. We're gonna watch them grow. So when we do our walk, just having that feel and everything just in bloom in spring, it's just gonna be truly magnificent, and it's just exciting. This update is amazing, and we're getting to this point that I'm just ready for everybody to have this update, to be able to play it and to enjoy it. And I want to see creations. I want to see what all of you guys are just going to be creating. So right here, I felt like I needed a little bit more marble now to break up all that extra greenery that I never planned in my initial build. So now by adding a little bit of marble fence right in between those key spots, it's breaking up that little extra green for me. But guys, here we are. Look at this. We in spring, everything in bloom, everything is changing. We got the purple, we got that little red in the tips of all these new trees all around it. It just looks so good. This update, all these new items, the detail, the way we can use them, it's just magnificent. The new builds that we are gonna create, this build could not have been done without this update, with all these new items, this elegant, this feel, this color, it's the new Dinkum. It's something that is just so powerful to play with, and it's just amazing. And I know I keep saying amazing, but it truly is. This update has been one of my favorite things. The quality of the update, the quality of the items, the attention to detail for us as builders, as designers, as creators, as people that are just playing for fun, to decorate, to build a small town, big town, just anything that you want to create. More and more, Dinkum is becoming that game that you can create, that you can build, that you can do anything that you want to do, to have this sandbox to play with and to create is amazing feeling, and ideas keep popping. Everything is coming together. The designing, the work, it's just everything is beautifully, and I can't wait to create the next video and then keep creating the next one, and just keep creating and coming up with new ideas for all of you to enjoy, for all of you just to experience, to bring to your islands. I'm always excited to read the comments, because your comments are giving me even more ideas and it's always gonna be a win-win situation between all of us, you know, as creators and as you guys watching and commenting. It's always a great feeling, you know. Now we're gonna just kind of see this throughout the day, how everything's changing, the different lights as we see it, as we speed up the time, and it's just beautiful. I love how it doesn't matter in what time of the day, this build looks the way that I want it to. That is elegant and it's just beautiful. So I went with a softer light, as you can see. Not too much light inside, because I imagine like when it's nighttime, everybody's gone. It's just very mood, and that light with all this green and the mossy pad creates this extra green glow that is just beautiful. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and we'll see you next time. Alright, see you later. Bye.